Hello friends, my name is Mayank Divedi. Today we are going to do the second part of Harappan civilization. Here we are going to start from where we left yesterday. So let's talk about characteristic features and nature of Harappan civilization. The Harappan civilization flourished in Indus Valley during 3rd millennium BC. Great civilizations' evidences are discovered through archaeological excavation, which throw light on nature and characteristics of the Harappan civilization. These archaeological evidences throw light on socio-cultural, political, and administrative and economic life of this great civilization. Harappan civilization was indigenous civilization which evolved over a period of 3000 years, which was a gradual evolution. Harappan civilization was urban civilization. Evidences from archaeological excavation like thorough homes, population density, the pattern of economic activities, art and culture, art and trade centers. So these reflects the urban characters of the Harappan civilization and Harappan settlements. So we can say the settlements like Harappa or Mohenjo-daro were mega cities of this great civilization because more than 30 to 40,000 people would have lived here. Till now, more than 1400 Harappan sites and towns are discovered. Harappan civilization was highly evolved because there was a well-settled life. Socio-religious institutions were well developed. It did not represent a haphazard growth of cities like Mesopotamian. Instead, it had a planned manner layout. It had a multi-class civilization. Rich and poor lived together in Harappan cities. Some lived in big houses, some lived in barracks, small rooms, evidences from graves. Harappan civilization had multi-ethnicity. Number of racial groups were present in Harappan civilization. In Harappan settlements, most of the Harappans were Mediterranean, Dravidian race. They can be considered as makers of Harappan civilization. Some Mongolites, Proto-Australites, Alpine people, Aryans were also there in Harappan civilization. Image of beard priest found at Mohenjo-daro indicate a Mongolite person. Bronze image of dancing girl found at Mohenjo-daro indicates a Proto-Australite. One alpine skull found at Harappa. Harappan civilization was cosmopolitan in nature. Harappans adopted multiple cultural elements from their contemporary civilization. Harappan settlements maintained close contact with Mesopotamian and Egyptian civilization. Evidence of lipstick found at Chandhudaro, Sindh, Pakistan. Evidence of vanity case found at Harappa. Evidence of coffin found at Harappa. These evidences show the cosmopolitan outlook of Harappans. These are also the evidences of elements from Mesopotamian civilization. The similarities of Harappan cities in terms of town planning, common script, system of weights and measurements, uniform size of brick, and smaller religious life indicates that Harappan civilization was administered by some centralized authority. It appears that Harappa and Mohenjo-daro were two great capitals of the civilization. Nothing is known definitely about the nature of polity on the basis of predominance of merchant class in Harappan cities. Scholars have opinionated that the civilization was administered by merchants. There was a presence of modern municipality type urban institution in Harappan civilization. In Harappan cities was another important feature of this great civilization. Without such urban institution, planned layout of cities, construction and maintenance of public buildings, etc. would have been impossible. The science and technology and technological knowledge of Harappan civilization was highly advanced. For that period, Harappans knew how to make bronze by mixture of tin and copper in a definite proportion. Their medical knowledge was also quite advanced, as evidence is revealed by a skull surgery found at Kalibagan, Hanumangarh district of Rajasthan, which is at the bank of river Ghaggar, and Lothal, Gujarat, near Bhogwa River, Gulf of Kambe. They knew the technology of making boats and ships. They were aware of waterproofing of the roof, wall, and surface. Their civil engineering knowledge was quite advanced. They built dam, forts, big public buildings, reservoirs. Religion. Harappans were secular in nature. Not any identifiable public religious buildings are discovered yet. Religious evidences associated with the civilization have been found from private houses. This suggests that the religion was private matter. Let's talk about predominance of secondary and tertiary economic activities as another important feature of Harappan civilization. As we learned, most of Harappans were involved in art and culture or trade and commerce. They practiced agriculture and domestication of animals, but it was not an identical feature of this great civilization. They have an materialistic outlook and which was dominant among Harappan people. The high level of prosperity of Harappan cities revealed by archaeological excavation evidence that Harappan cities did not waste their energy and time in rituals, ceremony, and philosophical speculations. Instead, they invested their efforts in their worldly life. Harappans had extensive resources at their disposal. From this, we can say Harappans had utilitarian outlook. Utilitarian outlook was dominant in Harappan culture. Harappans focused upon making life comfortable rather than luxurious and refined. Walls of their houses were plain without any painting, etc. Doors were simple without carvings. Harappan culture belonged to great traditions because archaeological evidences suggest that most of Harappans were literate. Script was known to Harappan people. Evidences from seals and potteries and seals manufactured by common people, which confirmed that the makers and users of these pots were literate. Harappan culture was a peace-loving civilization. Harappan civilization was a peace-loving civilization. A defensive life, fortified cities, weapons like sword and shield were rare discoveries from Harappan settlements. As I said, Harappan civilization was an extensive civilization which has more than 1400 cities and towns, covered an extensive area of 1.3 million square kilometers, 20 times bigger than Mesopotamian civilization and 12 times bigger than Egyptian civilization, and distance between the northernmost and southernmost settlement was about 1400 kilometers, and the distance between eastern and westernmost settlement is about 1600 kilometers. Harappan civilization was a proto-historic civilization because Harappan script is yet to be deciphered. It was a Bronze Age civilization because the use of bronze was typical feature of 3rd millennium BC worldwide. Harappan civilization was riverine civilization and because most of its settlements were on the bank of river or in river valleys, it was a long-lasting civilization which flourished for more than 1000 years. So these are all features of Harappan civilization. You can prepare your answer from these features. You can also use these features for pre-examination. Before going to decline of Harappan civilization, let's talk about some sites of Harappan civilization and when they are excavated or what are their features. First, Harappa. It was excavated by Dayaram Sahni in 1921 at Sehwal district, Punjab. It is on the bank of river Ravi. So in case of Harappa, 1921, Dayaram Sahni, Sehwal district, Punjab, bank of river Ravi. Major finds at Harappa: piece of pottery with Indus script, cubical limestone weight, sandstone statues of human anatomy, copper bullock cart, granaries, coffin burials, only found in Harappa, terracotta figurines, etc. Mohenjo-daro, it was excavated by R.D. Banerjee in 1922. Excavation was completed in 1924. It is at Larka district of Sindh, which is on bank of river Indus. Major findings: great bath, granary, unicorn seals, bronze dancing girl statue, seal of man with deer, elephants, tiger, rhinos. Pashupatinath seal was also found here. Steelite statue of beard man, bronze buffalo was also found at Mohenjo-daro. Sutkajer Dor, excavated by Stein in 1929, located in Baluchistan on the bank of Dast river. Important finding: flint blade, stone vessels. It was a trade point between Harappan civilization and Babylon. There were some stone arrowheads, shell beads, pottery. Then Chauhan-daro, which was excavated by N.G. Mazumdar in 1931, located in Sindh on the bank of river Indus. Major finding was Bengal factory, ink pot, bead making shop, footprint of dog chasing cart with seated driver. It is the only city without cathedral. Some other important cities: Amiri, N.G. Mazumdar, 1935, Baluchistan, bank of Indus river. Major findings: antelope evidences and rhinoceros evidence. Kalibagan, excavated by Amlanand Ghosh, 1953, Rajasthan, Hanumangarh district on the bank of river Ghaggar. Major finding: wooden drainage, copper oak, lower fortified town, evidences of earthquake, wooden plow, camel's bone, fire altar, and fraud land. Lothar, excavated by R. Rao in 1953 on Bhoga river, Gulf of Cambay in Gujarat. Major finding: port town, graveyard, ivory weight balance, copper dog, first man-made port, dockyard, rice husk, fire antlers. Then Surkotada, excavated by J.P. Joshi in 1964, located in Gujarat. Major finding: bones of horses, beads, stone-covered beads, etc. Then Panawali, which was excavated by R.S. Vasist in 1974, located in Haryana, Fatehabad district. Then Dholvira, which was also excavated by R.S. Vasist in 1985, located in Run of Kutch, Gujarat. It have some important major findings: exclusive water management, only site to be divided into 3 parts. Other sites were divided in only 2 parts, or either they had only 1 part. It had unique water harnessing system. It had dams. It gives first rock cut architecture. Let's talk about decline of Harappan civilization. After flourishing for more than 1000 years, the great civilization of Harappa came to an end. The decline of Harappan civilization is explained by different scholars quite differently. The controversy about the decline of Harappan civilization is outcome of the fact that the excavation carried out at various Harappan sites and settlements have brought light to different evidences indicating decline caused by different factors. These various factors put forward by or used by different scholars to put forward their different theories about the explanation of decline of this great civilization. Some theories were theory of sudden decline or foreign invasion or invasion of Vedic Aryan, and second, the natural disaster or flood theory. Third, theory of gradual decline or decline due to economic imbalance and natural changes. The third one, the theory of gradual decline. This is important for us because the questions related to decline of Harappan civilizations were asked usually from this theory. Sometimes they can ask the other two also. In case, the theory of sudden decline or theory of decline due to foreign invasion or decline due to invasion of Vedic Aryans. According to this theory, Harappan civilization was attacked by Vedic Aryans, and these Aryans came from outside. They were warlike people, and they destroyed the Harappan towns, cities, and Harappans were massacred and the civilization came to an end. This theory was put forward by R.E. Mortimer Wheeler, Slade, V. Gordon Slade, Stuart Piggott. So what were the supporting evidences for this theory? So we can say support of this theory was put forward by a number of archaeological evidences discovered during excavation of Harappan settlement and literary references found in Rig Veda, discovery of 3 female skeletons in archaeological excavation carried out at Mohenjo-daro. Some of these skeletons were found in a street, some were in well, and 13 of them were found in one single room. Some of these skeletons had wound marks on them, which indicates that these people were attacked with a sharp-edged weapon. These skeletons indicates that the city of Mohenjo-daro faced a sudden attack. The people were caught unaware. They were massacred while running for their lives. In Rig Veda, Indra was mentioned as Purandar and Varitahana. Purandar refers to destroyer of fortified settlement. Varitahana means slayer of demon. Varitara, this demon was obstructing the flow of river. It was nothing but Harappan dams built for flooding and irrigation. Destruction of dams severely affected the agriculture production, and destruction of fortified settlements brought an end to the urban life which resulted in Harappan civilization's decline. Let's do a critical examination of foreign invasion theory. A closer examination of argument and evidences put forward by supporters of foreign invasion theory brings to light a number of inherent limitations. The 3 female skeletons found at Mohenjo-daro belong to a different stratigraphic level. This indicates that these people did not die at the same time. They lived during different time periods. Their death cannot be ascribed to a single factor. The forensic examination of the wounds mark found on the skeleton have revealed that wounds had partially healed at the time of death of these people. It means there was a long time gap between the wounds and their death, and it appears that the death was not due to wounds. The recent historical research had established beyond doubt that Vedic Aryans did not enter Indian subcontinent before 1500 BC. Around 1750 BC, most of Harappan settlements had disappeared. There was a long time gap, at least 250 years, between decline of Harappan civilization and arrival of Vedic Aryans. Due to this time gap, the invasion of Vedic Aryans can't be held responsible for decline of Harappan civilization. So we are going to stop here, and in the third part, we are going to discuss the other views on the decline of Harappan civilization. Then we will discuss about the life of Harappan civilization, their social life, their politico-administrative life, their religious life, their burial practices, their economic life, their agriculture, art and craft, trade and commerce. Then we will discuss about elements of continuity of Harappan civilization. Then we will discuss about significance of seals and ceilings in understanding of Harappan civilization. And at the end, we will discuss about Harappan architecture and city planning. So that's all from my side, guys. Thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.